Okay, there we go. Hello, everybody. I think I got it on the first try this time. How is everyone doing? I feel like there was something I was supposed to say to you right off the bat this morning, and I can't think of what that was. So, anyway, oh, hello, Mother, and everybody else that I might have missed coming in. Um, yeah, so let's see. You guys all got your download, right? Did everybody get the download? And 15 plus guys, you voted on the poll, right? Because I'm going to announce the winner of the poll later today. So if you haven't voted yet, make sure you do. Although I can tell you right now, it looks like there's already a winner. I don't know if you guys can see how many votes there are on each item, but yeah, there's one that's like, well, I guess that's what we're doing. So, and that's good. Anyway, oh, you can. Okay, cool. Um, yeah, Vince posted just a little snippet of one of the paintings with a question today on the shadows on the page. So you should check that out if you haven't checked that out. We have a couple new stories that we're working on. In fact, I'm hoping to sit down tonight and maybe work on another little painting for one of the stories that he's working on. So that's exciting. Okay, so what we're going to do today is obviously we're going to watch last week's video, which isn't, what was it, like an hour and 20 minutes, an hour and 16 minutes. It's not very long. I am, if you have anything you needed help with, let me know. We'll do a little demo. I am prepared to show you what we're doing for next week's video. I might as well not draw the suspense out any more than that because I don't want you guys to be totally disappointed in me. So I'll just show you now, okay? We'll just get that out of our system right now, what we're doing next week. Now, I don't want anybody to be disappointed in what I'm about to show you, but more than that, I do not want a single one of you to go, ooh, or awesome, or anything like that. Because now I know at least I lean well sarcastically, and that's fine. But if you pretend like you're in awe, then I'm going to know that you guys always lie to me, okay? So I'm going to show you. We are actually, it's not a unicorn. This might be disappointing. It's actually on a big canvas, 18 by 24. It doesn't matter what size it is. You don't even have to do this on canvas. You don't even have to do this. So here's next week's video. Ta-da! Whoa, I'm gonna drop it. Okay, as you can see, this is not a painting. Okay, that's weird how my white balance changes when I hold this up. My face turned yellow. Now my face is normal. Now my face is yellow. I'm not negative today, but this could disappoint someone if you're expecting a new awesome painting. So what this is, it's a demonstration. So I get asked constantly, probably almost on a daily basis. My paint doesn't flow like yours. I have a hard time covering a canvas, and you know, I seem to use so much paint and you don't seem to use very much paint at all. And you know, I get that question daily. And it's a really hard question to answer in like a YouTube comment because I can't see their painting. I have no idea why they're having the problems that they're having because there could be 1,000 reasons for that. So I kind of took some of the common issues that I know happen with beginner artists, and sometimes not even beginner artists, just people who have, you know, struggled with something the entire time and they have no idea why, you know, why they have a hard time covering a canvas, you know. So we're going to go over that, and I'll just quickly run through these and show you like what kind of stuff we're going to talk about. Tell them to get my brushes. Okay, so we start out here. I'm talking about the wrong way to load your brush. So this is like just lightly dunking your brush into the paint, just getting a little on the end and then trying to scrub it in, trying to force that tiny amount of paint to cover. This is just kind of scooping up a big chunk and blopping it on, and then you have to struggle to spread it from that spot. This is not enough water versus too much water. This is kind of that scatter shot. I see a lot of people do this where they might load their brush perfectly right, you know, the right amount of water, the right amount of paint, they loaded it properly, but then they get to their canvas and they're like, gotta cover everything, you know, it's like, gotta cover the whole canvas right now. So that's what this one is. And then this one is the person who is afraid to move their brush, you know, who just maybe just kind of uses the tip of the brush like that, or somebody who just kind of uses the one spot and never turns the brush over. Over here is the difference between a soft brush and then the proper brush. So, you know, I think usually when people say, I seem to go through so much paint and it doesn't flow like yours, I think they're probably using a soft brush. Because I actually reloaded my brush here 3 times and used at least twice as much paint as I did here, and I didn't cover anywhere near as much. And then here I just demonstrate how to effectively load your brush the right way and apply the paint quickly yet smoothly and evenly. So, and then we go over again washing and caring for brushes. There might or might not be a huge rant about letting your brushes sit in the water. So it's just kind of a quick video. I think it'll only be about 30 minutes long at the longest. But I think it's really important information because, like I said, I get asked those questions almost daily. So somebody needs that answer. So I hope it's at least a little bit helpful to you guys. Good, Audra. Good. Yeah, you know, if you find yourself putting too much out on your plate, then how about this? Tell yourself, don't put out any more than the size of a dime, okay? Don't make it a big tall dime, just like a little blob the size of a dime. Maybe if you're covering a background, maybe put out the size of a nickel. You can always get more, but you can't. You can put it away, but it's really hard and it's a pain. So just put out tiny bits of paint. You can always get more. Yeah, so I hope that refresher helps you guys. Good, Gretchen, yes. No, well, Sydney, it depends. And we'll go over that actually in the video next week. You know, this is not a soft brush. Absolutely, this is not a soft brush. This is a soft brush. So, yeah. So we talk about how to tell if a brush is soft or firm actually in the video. I give you some techniques to do that because sometimes it can be hard, you know, if you're like, I don't know, it seems like it has a pretty decent flick back. It might be firmer than this other brush I have over here, but I don't know, is that considered firm? So yeah, I'll show you how to tell that. So let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, I don't have anything else right now. So if you guys have any questions about anything, then, you know, if there's anyone here who hasn't been to one of these before, remember that I'm here for you guys. If you have questions, shout it out. If it seems like I'm ignoring you, sometimes YouTube likes to hide questions. So let me check, make sure I've got this set. If it seems like I'm ignoring you, please understand I'm not. Ask your question again, okay? And if you need a demo, if there's something you really struggled with, that's what I'm set up for over here. So we can absolutely do whatever it is that you need. So let's go ahead and push play. Let me know if the audio is okay between my voice and, you know, my voice. Let me turn that down a little bit. How's the mileage increase on the new car? Not bad, Pat. We took a trip just spur of the moment yesterday morning. We were like, let's go on a trip. Where are we going to go? Just like a day trip. So we drove to Pocatello, Idaho yesterday. And I think we ended up putting right about 300 miles on her yesterday. So that was pretty awesome. We're more than halfway to being able to tow. Yay! Oh, hello, Barbara. I didn't see you when you came in. Again, please let me apologize for this stupid bouncy camera. It's so horrible. I swear, I actually figured out how to, I wasn't sure how to rig up my regular camera. So that's why I used my cell phone on this. But I did figure out how to rig up my regular camera, and I feel like it's substantially less bouncy. And we might just need to level our trailer a little bit better to cut down on the bounce. But yeah, the next video I film in there won't be so bouncy. Hello, Donna. Has anybody done this yet? It's been a couple of days since I was on Instagram. I was kind of struggling, trying to come up with something for this week. And I actually did record something, but I wasn't in love. I mean, it was okay, and it's a good idea, and it's an idea that I'll probably pursue for next week. But it didn't turn out as good as I wanted it for a video. And then I forgot to film like the last 20 minutes of it anyway. So I was like, oh well. So yeah, I was kind of on like high energy work mode for the last several days. So I haven't been on Instagram. Oh, post it, Eileen. Cindy's working on it. Donna posted on Patreon. Did you post it somewhere, Kelly? Good, good. A lot of you guys did, huh? Awesome. Okay, well, I need to get over to Patreon too, because I know I'm a few days behind on some of your posts on the community tab there as well. What did we get? What kind of car did we get? We got a Kia Sorento. We needed something that was better for towing, because our poor little Jeep was like, He's like, I don't want to. You can't post on Patreon, Kelly? Why? You should be able to. But you post on Instagram. Okay, I'll get into Instagram as soon as we're done here today. Yeah, we had a Kia before, and we really liked it, but it was a Kia Soul. It was just like a little thing. It was hard we had 2 dogs at the time, and it was hard for both of them to be in it. It was hard for one of them to be in it. It wasn't really great in the snow, and so that was difficult. So, Kelly, I think I need to post some updated information about the community tab. Gwen actually messaged me recently and said that she deleted her Patreon app off of her phone and reinstalled it. And when it reinstalled, it was updated. She actually didn't even know that there was a community tab on there until she updated the app. So maybe try that. Uninstall your app, reinstall it. And I'm going to post that information when we're done today about the, updating the app, and then the procedures that Deb made about how to get in there and do that again. So, because there's some new people, and, I just want to make sure that everybody has the potential to get in there. No photo option. What kind of device are you using, Kelly? Pat, sometimes I have noticed that if you overwork a spot on the canvas pads, it can just pull the paint straight off of it. Yeah, I've noticed that. But it could be a coating, that kind of helps prevent them from sticking together. So I wonder, if you were to like spray it down, or just take like a damp brush, a wet brush, and just coat the whole thing in water first and then wipe it, maybe that would fix it. You clearly wait until it's dry before you paint on it if you do that, but that's something I've been meaning to experiment with and see if that fixed that problem. Gretchen, are you using, that sounds like canvas paper. Are you using canvas paper? Because canvas paper is very dry. And this that I'm using is not paper. This is a sheet of canvas. It's a real canvas. Welcome, Stacy. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what you guys do with this. And I really hope that, you know, you kind of cut loose and change it up to suit your preferences, you know, just like I did from my photo. I changed so much of it because there were things about the photo that I was like, I don't really like that, or I want to see more of this or less of this. So I really hope that you guys feel free to do that and deviate even from my painting. You haven't found the black ones, Atra? There's a link to them on my website in the materials list to the black Fredericks pads. Yeah, the canvas paper is dry. The canvas pads are more like a real canvas. Well, it is a real canvas. I do actually like to use canvas paper occasionally. Mostly if I'm just trying to like work out an idea and I don't, because at this point I don't have any canvas that's not Fredericks except for my big, huge artist loft ones that, you know, I've had stashed away forever, but I don't want to use those in videos right now, but, and they're too big for practicing a painting. So I do use canvas paper occasionally just to work out, you know, composition and techniques and stuff. Nice, Pat. Yeah, Blake should have the black canvas pads too. Oh, you're into the 9x12, huh? I actually enjoyed painting on the 9x12 on this one. It's, you know, it's quite a different size and shape for me, but I liked it. Actually, the painting that I was working on this week, I took one of the 12x16 black canvases and I cut it in half and just painted on one of those. So it ended up being, what is that, 12x8? So 8x12. So that was kind of a strange shape too, a little more narrow than this one that I'm using, but I kind of liked it. Yeah, Stacy, you can frame it. You just get a frame that has the backing on it. You can get like double-sided tape and stick it to that backing, stick it in the frame, and that's it. Just don't put glass on it. I know so many people think that I'm wrong or just talking fluff when I tell you not to put acrylic behind glass, but please don't put acrylic behind glass. It doesn't need the protection of glass. All it's going to do is off gas behind that glass. It could create a film on the glass. It can trap moisture in there, which can lead to mold. The glass can touch the paint and stick to it and damage it. So there's no reason to put acrylic behind glass. If it gets dusty, you can wipe it off with a damp cloth. Watercolor, yes, you want to put watercolor behind glass typically, but never acrylic. Ooh, that sounds nice, Gretchen. I don't think it'll be too peachy. Oh, nice, Kelly. It's not cheating, Lisa. Is anybody doing anything for Memorial Day? It's Memorial Day tomorrow here in the States. Does anybody have any plans? Oh, yeah. I mean, the mat could get dirty. I don't even consider mats because I personally don't like the way mats look. So I wouldn't mat it, but that's my preference. But even with a mat, you should not put it behind glass. That's just more airspace that it can trap moisture. It can't breathe through there. Cindy's working. Me too. We actually, Ooh, 95, yucky. We might actually take Olaf to meet his father tomorrow. His father is still alive. So we might, his father belongs to some good friends of mine. So we might go over there and let Olaf meet his dad tomorrow for a few minutes. So, but other than that, I'll just be finishing up next week's video, and that's about it. Deb's painting, heck yeah. Painting ATCs, awesome. I know, we've actually been talking about getting them together for like a year. His dad was actually diagnosed with some kind of a cancer about a year ago, and he's apparently still doing really great. So we want to get them together and have them meet before, you know. Mr. Moon will get over it. Yeah, maybe tomorrow. Yeah, so we'll talk about it later, but if you have time, we can run over there a little bit tomorrow. It was like almost 80 here today, like 75, but now it's starting to cloud up again and it's going right back to rain. We had about a day and a half of like some good solid sunshine after a week straight of rain and some seriously intense rain and some seriously intense wind. And it's going right back to that tomorrow. This is a very weird spring for us. Yeah, Stacy, you did. We'll talk about it again in a minute. It's nothing impressive, but hopefully it's helpful. Oh, good, Lisa. Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I don't know, Gretchen. I don't imagine so, but Olaf loves everybody, so I don't think it will matter. He'll just be like, hey, dog, want to play? I know, Donna. It's really bad. It's really bad. It goes away, I promise. Yeah, Stacy, it really was the last couple of days. What day was it? Like 2 days ago, we had sustained winds of, I don't know, somewhere between 35 and 55 with gusts in the high 60s. And I have a lilac bush in my front yard that got ripped out by the wind 2 years ago, and we were able to get it replanted and it was fine. Well, it got ripped out of the ground again the other day and it was all laying against my new car, and so hopefully it can get replanted. It still hasn't been replanted yet. Thank you so much, Barbara. Did you get it, Kelly? You got it to work? Excellent. Good, good, good. I'm glad to hear it. Deb, thanks for your help on that. I appreciate it. I will get that post made again today so that the newbies and maybe people who are still having a hard time can get that information and be able to do it. Perfect, Kelly. I can't wait to go see. Stacy, we got a Kia Sorento. It's pretty cute, even with the lilac bush laying against it. I love painting a sky like this. I want to do this more. Oh, sorry. That camera is so bad. Yeah, so you can probably pretty much count on seeing skies like this more often. So, what color is yours, Stacy? Good, Kelly. Good, good. I'm glad. I hope that you guys can find some inspiration on those, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what you do with them. Please make sure to tag me because I really want to see. So, like I said, you can still claim them as originals. You don't even have to mention my reference images if you don't want to. That's perfectly fine. But even if you're not going to mention it, please tag me so that I can see, because I'm super excited to see what you guys do with the photo I took. You know, maybe using some of the techniques you've learned from me, but really just going at it on your own and doing it. That's really exciting. I want to see it. Painting on a waterbed. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Stacy, ours is white too. Yeah, I loved that big tree too. I thought that he was really cool. And I considered doing that one for a tutorial instead of this one. Um, but then, you know, ultimately I went with this one. But that's why I included him in the pack, because I was like, this is still a cool photo and I hope somebody will do something with it. Um, Sydney, not specifically. I mean, you could post a photo and say, hey, you guys can use this photo, but once other people post above it, it's not like Facebook where all of the photos are kept like in a photo album somewhere. As other people post, it's just going to get bumped down and lost. So unless they see it right then, it's gone. And I really wish that Patreon had that feature, because I would really like if my photos were archived, because you know, if you're new, like let's say you're a $15 patron and you just sign up, it would be cool if you could go back and see all of like the photos for, you know, our past events so that you can access those too. As it is, if you don't take the initiative to scroll through there and see old posts, you're never going to see them. So yeah, hopefully Patreon gets on that and starts, you know, putting posts into albums, but we don't have that right now. Who is in love with that sage color like me? I am in love with that color. It is the perfect green for me right now. Next week, something else will be the perfect green, I'm sure. But, I mean, who would have thought that two colors that are, they're ho-hum colors on their own. Yellow oxide's a little bit more exciting than cerulean blue, but man, you put those two colors together and it's like drop in a little bit of white and it's like magic. Heck yeah. The color of sage, the smell of sage. It's good stuff. We are color cohorts, aren't we? That's a hard word for me to say. Cohorts. Nice, Stacy. Yeah, it was really windy today and we took Olaf for a little bit of a walk and now my hair is just tangled. Cerulean blue, it's one of those colors that, like I said, it's not an exciting color on its own. But once you start using it and you figure out ways to use it, then it becomes quite valuable. And I go through phases where I'm like, cerulean blue is the only right blue for this. And then phases where I'm like, why did I ever use that ugly color? I'm kind of in a cerulean blue phase right now. Ooh, you have a great front yard. Now you got to get some lavender in there, some roses, some, what else? What else smells good? Some mint. Maybe some lemongrass. Ah, he hates it when you burn sage. Mine requests it. Yeah, Pat, I think it is. Yeah. Hello, Tan. Welcome. Okay, so we have some people who weren't here earlier, and we are about 20 minutes into the video. So we'll just pause there for a minute, and I will go show you guys again about next week's video. Oh, thank you, dear. You're so sweet. Okay, so next week's video, as I was telling these guys, it's not exciting. Please don't be disappointed. But I hope that it's helpful. I think a lot of people will find it helpful. And you may even think, I don't need that. I'm good. But I hope that you'll watch it anyway, because I bet you still find something in it that is of value to you. So next week is really just demonstrations. Yay! It's super exciting. So mostly it's about helping people who have a hard time covering a canvas, or they don't know how to load a brush properly. You know, I get a lot of questions about, I always get the paint right up to the ferrule. Why does that happen? You know, my paint doesn't spread as smoothly as yours, or I go through too much paint. So that's what this is. So these are all different techniques that I've identified, you know, just from seeing people's painting. And I know, oh, well, your brush was completely dry there, or you had very, very little paint on your brush here, or, you know, whatever it is. So that's what we're doing here. And then it really is back to basics, but I think sometimes it's a good reminder. Even just making the video for me was a little bit of a reminder, you know, about why it's important to take your time and, you know, do something the right way. And that taking your time and doing something the right way can actually help you do it faster than doing it the wrong way. So I really hope it's helpful. Also, I'm going to go over again how to properly clean brushes and store them afterwards, as well as rant and rave at you guys about not leaving brushes in the water, which I'm sure none of you guys do, but everybody else still does, because they don't believe me that it's going to destroy their brushes until it does. And then it's not their fault, it's the brush's fault. So I actually have a brush handle, not like this, but a brush handle that doesn't have a ferrule on it, so that you can see what it looks like with the top of the brush. Oh, bye, Sydney. Oh, wait, who's leaving? Oh, yeah. Bye, Sydney. Thanks for hanging out. So you can see what the handle looks like under the ferrule, and hopefully that will help you see why it's so important that you don't leave your brushes sitting in water. Another thing that I'm going to go over with regards to letting your brushes sit in water is, because I've had people before say, well, I just use cheap brushes and I let them sit in the water all the time and they never fell apart. And they're all like smug about it. I'm like, you're right. You probably can leave cheap brushes sitting in the water and they won't get ruined, because quality materials are a little bit more vulnerable to damage from being left soaking in water, where cheap brushes might not be. And so I kind of go over why that would be the case. So so I hope that that's helpful. I'm sure I'll still have at least one person go, I've done it for years and I've never ruined a brush. And I'll be like, good for you. Your day's coming. So anyway, do you really, Deb? That's hilarious. Yes, you do, Tan, and I'm going to show you. It's actually really simple. And I know it might seem like a lot of work, but I wash my brush as soon as I'm done using it, every single time. It doesn't matter if I'm in the middle of, oh, Michelle, I love you too. It doesn't matter if I'm in the middle of a painting where I'm like, I have to hurry. If I'm done with this brush, I'm going to stop. I'm going to clean it properly. I'm going to rinse it. I'm going to check it for paint in the ferrule. I'm going to wash it again. I'm going to rinse it again. I'm going to check it again. I'm going to reshape it and set it aside. every single time. Never plop it down in the water and leave it sitting there. Never, never, never. Okay. Heck yeah. You beat them up, man. When you're using them, be so rough and abusive to them. But when you're cleaning them, be gentle. And when you're storing them, be gentle. But heck yeah, stab that canvas. Scrub them to death. All of that. That's what they're made for. Okay. I think that's, whoop. Where did I go? I think that's cute that you guys like keep my brushes all segregated. Yeah, and you know, Cindy, that's a good point. Like when I say wash, I'm not talking about with soap. I'm talking about cleaning the paint off of them while you're working. Just cleaning them in the jar. That's what I mean by washing them. Actually cleaning them with soap, I really don't do unless they need it. I feel like it's possible, and maybe it's just me, I feel like if I were to wash with soap every day, that would be a little bit more abuse on my brushes that they don't really need. But, you know, if you wash it properly in your jar, your ferrule's not going to get, you know, gunked up. And if you keep clean water, you know, all those things, and your ferrule's not going to get gunked up, and they won't need to be washed with soap all that often. So I really only do it when I'm like, whoops, I didn't wash that brush all that well. It's time for some soap. Oh, you do rinse them in the sink, Kelly? I will rinse them in the sink if they've gotten particularly gunked. So occasionally, you guys have seen before where like my 1/2 inch flat, I'll do an entire painting with my 1/2 inch flat. And sometimes I really get going, I'm scrubbing, and I do get paint clear to the ferrule because I'm just like, I'd rather just get the look that I want than worry about what I'm doing to my brush. And so sometimes if the paint gets down that far, no amount of washing and rinsing in the jar is going to get it. And I have to take it to the sink and rinse it or use soap until it's perfectly clean. So yeah, I will do that sometimes. Yeah, the stain is fine, Tan. Stain is nothing. You know, all of my brushes, I mean, see, you can see like a purple halo on that one. And this one's even worse. But that's not, there's not paint in here. See, this brush is perfectly cleaned. And if I even took soap, it would still be pink. Because some colors, like quinacridone and the purples, phthalo blue, some colors just have really high staining power. And that's just how it is. But yeah, a stain doesn't mean that your brush isn't clean. Yeah, Atra, absolutely. In fact, if you want, we can go over that real quick. Let's do that because you guys don't seem to have a lot of questions on this painting today. I think it was pretty self-explanatory. I'm sure I've got a crusty old brush in here, probably Fuzzbert. I tend to abuse Fuzzbert. Look, he doesn't even bend very well. He's like fuzzy at the top, but look at, he's solid at the bottom. See that? It doesn't even bend there. And yeah, hang on. Let me get this so I don't have to drop my microphone on the floor. I gotta grab my rubbing alcohol. Where is it? Uh-oh. I don't know where it is. Hang on. I don't know where my rubbing alcohol went. Well, I'll just grab this one. It's not in there. What the heck? I wonder where my rubbing alcohol went. That's water. If I were more organized, I'd be able to find it, wouldn't I? I just had it. Oh, it's right here because that's where it belongs on my computer. Okay. You wash until no color remains? Gretchen, don't wash them too much. Okay. I've been strength my rubbing alcohol. Okay. So let's go over to here. So I always have a bottle of rubbing alcohol. Okay. Actually, hey Vince, are you still listening? I'm going to dunk it into here and I'm going to let it sit with that rubbing alcohol in it. Hey Vince, will you bring me the Castile soap and yeah, the Castile soap. Thank you. Okay, so this is full of rubbing alcohol. Notice I just dunked it in. Excuse me, I did not leave it sitting in there. And I'm just letting the rubbing alcohol sit in it. Don't dunk it in the bottle. It's the rubbing alcohol that I use exclusively for my art, so I'm not worried about contaminating it. After a couple of minutes... Yeah, please. Oh, you know what? And that jar of water over there. All right, will you bring me a little cup of water? Well, oh, he's being a smart mouth, guys. I'm going to punch him. I won't really punch him. Okay, so now it's been sitting there for a couple of minutes. Let me zoom in here. And I'm going to start just kind of like flexing it. And that's going to start loosening up. See, it's already bending a little bit more than it did. This brush is seriously gunked up. It would need quite a bit of work to get that out of there, but thank you.
Will that work?
Yeah, you don't mind me washing paintbrushes in it?
As long as it doesn't stain it forever.
No. I'm going to take my fingernail now, and I hope it doesn't take my fingernail polish off. I haven't painted my fingernails in years. I don't even know if rubbing alcohol will hurt it. Anyway, I'm going to start scraping my nail in to just kind of make sure that rubbing alcohol is in there, work some of that gunk apart. And if you get to your brush before it's as bad as this one, then it'll never get this bad. But the rubbing alcohol will definitely loosen all of that up. And you can even let it sit, you know, for several hours. Just let it sit. The rubbing alcohol will evaporate. It's not going to get in there and swell up the wood and, you know, ruin it the way it would if you were just soaking it in water. Yeah, see, it's already bending a little bit better. Nothing will fix Fuzzbird. That is true. And I don't need him fixed up. But he is a little gunky at the bottom. Oh, it's really, really stiff right there. That's a really hard spot. But, so after you're done with that, let's pretend that he's been soaking for a couple of hours at least. I have a little cup of water here. I'm going to just dunk him in there, kind of rinse off some of that alcohol. I like to use the liquid Castile soap. I'm just going to put like, maybe I'll get a drop out. The thing about this Castile soap is it clogs up because the soap dries out. There. Okay, I'm just going to put a drop. Whoa, that was substantially more than a drop. And down goes my mic. And then just wash it. And look at the color coming out. Can you guys tell? I haven't used this brush in a little while, since the video we're watching today. And you can see the color that's coming out of it. It's a little on the green side. And it's funny, if you do it repeatedly, sometimes with each washing, the color will change. The soap dispenser needs rubbing alcohol in it, probably. So we'll pretend like I washed that thoroughly, rinse it out really well. Dry it off. Dry off my hand. I have soap all over it, soap water all over my hand. The soap is slimy. And now it's better than it was, but he's still pretty sad. But anyway, that's what I do whenever it's stiff. But like I said, if you get it before it's as bad as Fuzzbert, then you can pretty much get that gone. You can get rid of it immediately. I've had that. I've had a couple of brushes get really stiff where I'm like, oh man, this brush has about had it. And then I'll do that, and then it's fine. Yeah, we do drink out of the mug, but it'll go through the dishwasher and it'll be just fine. It'll be good. I'm not too worried about it. Okay. Oh, the soap. Like I buy it at the regular grocery store. And then if you can't find it at a regular grocery store, you can get it on Amazon. You can get it at like any health food store. It's got like weird writing all over it. The entire bottle is covered in like Heal Earth type stuff. And then like, I think is there Bible verses? I feel like there's Bible verses on it, or maybe like one. Anyway, but the name, it's Dr. Bronner's Castile soap. And it comes in lots of scents. We like the lavender one, but yeah, there's even unscented. So, oh, bye, Stacy. I'm glad you got to hang out for a while. Yeah, it's either down like the natural aisle, or usually I find this at our grocery store down the aisle where they have like detergent, like laundry detergent and stuff. It's usually down there. If your store sells Meijer's, like Meijer's Clean Day stuff, they probably sell the Dr. Bronner's too. And I actually use Dr. Bronner's for everything. Like we wash our dishes with it. We wash our hands with it. I use it for like soap in the shower. I was washing my hair with it for a long time, but you know, they always say that you should change your shampoo. So I'm not using that on my hair anymore, but I did for a couple of years. So you can use it for like anything. Don't brush your teeth with it, but they do make toothpaste too. We do use their toothpaste also. So, yeah. Yeah, you can use it. It's really great if you're going to take it camping because it's natural and it's not toxic and it's biodegradable. It's made of like coconut oil and like hemp seed oil. Let's see. Yeah, coconut oil. There's a lot of olive oil in it, jojoba oil, lots of different good for you oils. Anyway, so that's Castile soap. Oh, I keep doing that. What is the matter with me, man? All right, let's go back to our video here. But yeah, you guys got some good questions. Let me know if you have any other questions. Don't cook with it. No, please don't cook with it. I have used it for cleaning like water mugs, like you know, like the I forget what they're called. The big metal water jugs with the lids on them. And I cleaned my jug with that and didn't rinse the soap out properly, and then put water in it, and it tasted like I was drinking soap. It was gross. Didn't finish drinking that water. Hello, Carrie. Better late than never. It sounds like Vince is watching kung fu movies. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's like really loud. Bye, Kelly. I can't wait to go see your painting. I haven't ever used that, Donna, but I know a lot of people swear by it. And it's been around for a million years, so, you know, must be good stuff. Carrie, yeah, we actually just got done talking about it for the second time. But I'll show again before we're done today. No, Carrie, it's not. I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. It's not actually a painting at all. It's just a like back to basics demonstration. Oh, I'm sorry, Michelle. You know, it's just it's twice as bouncy as it really was in the camper because the arm that I used to record it, it's like this metal rod that you can bend, you know, it clamps and holds my phone, but I had it stretched out tall so that I could get a wide shot. Well, being that it's a tall metal rod, it was super like bouncy and flexy. And so if there was any kind of movement in the trailer, like if Olaf jumped down or jumped up onto his bed, or, you know, if I just like adjusted in my seat a little, the camper would move a little bit, but then the arm was like this. So it made the video look like it was way worse. I swear we weren't sitting in there going, you know, like this. Like I didn't even think about it until I kind of looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh, my phone was like going like this. And so then I, you know, took cautions. I'm like, Vince, don't move. If you need to move, tell me first so that I can stop. But yeah, we weren't like throwing ourselves around. Bye, Lisa. Thanks for hanging out. It bothers me. But I think from here on out, it's pretty much better. I feel like it's not, it was really just like, there's probably a couple here and there from here on out, but it was really at the beginning. It was like, once I saw that that was happening, it was like, I'm going to have to scrap this entire thing. And then it was just like a little bit after that. And I was like, they can deal with it. They'll be fine. I'll just tell them to take some Dramamine and they'll live. Carrie, you know, at this moment, not particularly, and I think that's for a couple of reasons. So first of all, I'm really into, you know, some of these landscapes that I've been doing based on the photos that I've taken. That's really exciting to me right now, and I really want to get out and do some plein air. But also, because I'm doing those little creepy watercolors for the blog that Vince and I have, the Shadows on the Page, that's also kind of feeding that need for creepy for me. So I'm not jonesing right now, but you know I'll get back to it. It's how I roll. I promise. Oh, good, Atra. I'm glad you found it. Michelle is wonderful. We all appreciate Michelle. Oh, okay, Tan. Yeah, I was telling these guys earlier before you got here that I'm a couple of days behind on Instagram right now. So, woo! I think that's the last really bad shake. I hope. Hopefully. So, Deb, how does a Jerry's store compared to a Blick store? Are they pretty much the same? Cindy, right now, no. Right now, we've decided we're not going to, simply because, you know, we've had a lot of people mention creating a book, and Vince is a publisher. So I think it only is, you know, it's only obvious that eventually we're going to publish a book. It's kind of, you know, required at this point. And the images, the photos that I have of the paintings in the blog are not top quality. The best I could get was scanning them on my dinky little scanner printer thing. And that's not quality enough to publish in a book. So we are going to hold on to them right now so that eventually we can get better images of the paintings so that they'll publish correctly in a book. That said, I am looking into a couple of print options. So we may sell prints. That is something we definitely want to do, is sell prints. Yeah, Deb, that's how it is for me at Blake's too. Once I started going to Blake's, I'm like, Michael's who? Oh, Carrie, yes. Can you post it on Patreon too? Anyway, wherever you post it, I want to see it. Oh no, Vince won't write kids. No. Asking Vince to write kids' books is no. Vince, Deb is saying you need to write kids' books. Tell her why she's wrong. Maybe don't. Vince is just, yeah, he just doesn't know anything about kids. Excellent, Tan. I'm glad they got there. That was faster than I expected. I hope you didn't have to pay too much in duties. But yeah, so we're looking into a couple of print options. And yeah. Yay, Michelle. Good for you. Good for you. I'm super proud of you. I don't know why Olaf is standing here staring at me as if I'm going to give him something, but what are you doing? Why are you standing there staring at me? Oh yeah, it is time for you to feed him. Hey, you better not be doing what I think you're doing. He's searching for paper towels again. Seriously, that dog, he's like, I've never known a dog to be so food motivated. You'd think that we never feed him, except well, he's not fat, but he will seriously eat. He would eat until he died. Vince has a punching bag, and the other day, like the fluff was falling out the bottom of it. Olaf saw, well, I'll just eat that. And so he like picked it up and tried to eat it. He spit it out when he realized it wasn't good to eat, but he tried because he's gross. Nice, Cindy. I'm really excited to see. I'm really excited to see what all you guys do with this painting. He's always on a paper towel hunt. I walked into the room with a paper towel in my hand the other day, and he like zeroed in on it. And he was like staring at my hand. I'm like, I see you. So those of you who have done this, what did you do that was different? I know somebody said that they did the sky different, but tell me specifically how you changed it. Even little changes. What did you do different? I know, Michelle, it really does. It looks kind of juvenile. And I think that is part due to the fact that it's all like asymmetrical, but then also kind of triangular, and the way the branches just kind of jut out. And that was really awkward for me to do because I don't do a lot of branches that just like jut out. But that's what this tree looked like. But yeah, once I started putting the foliage on it, it was a little bit better. Oh, 10, that's okay. Are you feeling better? I hope you're feeling better. Remember you said you weren't feeling good before. Oh, nice, Pat. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Yay, Carrie. Did you tag me? Because I want to make sure that I see it. Oh my gosh, 10, that is so long. I'm glad that you're feeling better. Bye, Barbara. You can watch the replay whenever you get a minute, but I'm glad you got to hang out for a bit. Excellent, Pat. Thank you. Oh, nice, Donna. Excellent. Back at you, Barbara. Yeah, I'm interested in how you used a square bottle. I put paint into like a spray bottle a while ago, and I got like 2 or 3 good sprays out of it, and then it like totally clogged up the spray bottle and destroyed it. So I didn't try that again. So I'm curious how you did that without destroying a spray bottle after a couple. Oh, 10, that sucks. Also, so another thing with this technique, let me pause it here for a second where you can kind of see. So there's a couple things going on here. First of all, obviously I'm using Fuzzbert, so he's super fuzzy. Everything goes everywhere. If you use a very nice, tidy brush, you're gonna get more of like a dot, a dot, a dot. Another thing is I'm not mushing the brush onto the canvas. I'm just kind of touching. So let's see, I think I still got some paint here from. So I'm going to grab a little bit of paint and then I'm stabbing it just to help Fuzzbert do his job. It's nice and puffed out. But so that I don't have clumps. If I had clumps of paint on here, let's say I just had like a clump of paint, then even with Fuzzbert, I'm going to get like a glob. See, I'm not even putting that much pressure, but I'm getting a glob. So instead, it's still just a thin amount of paint, and then I'm stabbing it to fuzz it out, thin it out a little, and then I'm barely touching. I'm not like stabbing it down. And let me see if I can zoom you in here a little bit better. Kind of the standy-uppy angle so that you can see how my brush is touching the canvas. So I'm really going in and going dot, dot. I think I got a little bit too much of my paint off of there. See, it's depressing a little bit, but it's not, my brush is really dry. That's what's going on here. And this is basics paint, so that could be part of it too. So every touch is a different position, but see, it's not, I'm not doing this, and I'm not, you know, doing that. It's just kind of a speckle like that. Okay? Does that help? That's how Fuzzbert gets all stiff and full of paint. Exactly. The standy-uppy angle. Heck yeah, Deb, I'm there. Okay, so hopefully that helps. If you're getting too solid of a shape, you know, like this or whatever, then either you're using too nice of a brush. So if I used this brush, my number 6, ooh, look how sleek that guy is. Oh, he's crunchy. He needs an alcohol bath. All right, if I use that guy, get my paint, I'm not gonna stab him on the plate like I did Fuzzbert, because then he'll join the ranks and I don't need 2 Fuzzberts. But if I come in here and start doing the same brush stroke, look, even though I'm turning it, I'm getting a little bit more of like a solid shape, no matter what part of the brush I go onto. Now that's fine if that's the kind of tree you want. That's not a bad thing. It's just, you know, it's just gonna look different. That's just not what I wanted. So yeah, it really depends on the shape of your brush, how mean or how nice you're being to it, etc. Okay, I hope that helped. If not, let me know. Helpful. Good. Good, good, good. Fuzzstock 19. Pat, where do you live so we can start making our plans? I had a 1/2 inch flat that was becoming a Fuzzbert. And I lost him. I don't know what happened to him. He's gone. Of course, this place is a mess. So he could be anywhere. It's not a retreat. It's just Pat hosting us for Fuzzbert. What do we call it? Fuzzstock 19. It's Pat's event. It's not mine. And I don't have to do anything except show up like you guys. I'm just a participant. Oh, yes, you're in Canada. All right, everybody head on up to Canada. Atra, don't you get any ideas? I don't even have a passport. I need to get one. I can't believe I don't have a passport. Yes, Deb, that's a factual statement. And you know the little bags that they all come in? The brushes come together. So like my 1/2-inch filberts, they come in like a bag of 6. So I take them out and then I put like the whole order in there. So it's possible that many of you have brushes that were not only in the same box, they were in the same bag of like 6 together. And I broke them up just for you guys. We used to have a dog named Nova, and her nickname was Nova Scotia. You do? You have brush siblings. Isn't that sweet? I think it's sweet. Oh, Atra, yeah. Nicknames for animals are always longer. Olaf's main nickname, and he responds to it. He has dozens of nicknames, and he responds to all of them. But his main nickname that he responds to is Fito Burrito. You have to say it with a very slight Spanish accent. Fito Burrito. And he responds to that. I guess Mr. Moon, his nickname is maybe a little bit longer than his name. His nickname, mostly, we call him Mooney Tunes. Fried burrito. No, Fito. It's like a Spanish diminutive nickname, like a boy's nickname, Fito. I'm not sure what name it's a nickname of, but now it's a nickname of Olaf. Oh, Wabito Taquito. That's so cute. Some of Olaf's other nicknames, Darth Vader, which actually fit him much more when he was a puppy because he was a jerk. Ralph Nader, which has nothing to do with politics. I don't know anything about Ralph Nader. It just was part of like, there was like this whole little nickname chant that we would do at Olaf, and Ralph Nader just like happened to rhyme with something else that was in it and fit in there. So then every once in a while we still call him Ralph Nader, but not very often. Yeah. We get real creative with nicknames in this house. Yeah, exactly. I think that's what it, but I don't remember how it got, like, it was a whole progression. Like Ralph Nader rhymed, I think Darth Vader rhymed off of Ralph Nader, and Ralph Nader rhymed off of something else. And I can't even remember, but it was a big, long thing. Fluffy and Chubs, that's hilarious. Oh yeah, Feets. We call Olaf Feets. Yeah. Feets. And he responds to it. Mostly just because if we make a sound, he's pretty sure that we're about to offer him food. Even if we're calling Mr. Moon. If I call Mr. Moon, Olaf comes running. He's like, yes. Are you giving him food? Because I'll take it. Bye, Tan. I'm glad you got to hang out for a minute. Bob Dole. That's hilarious. We keep trying to come up with like really hilarious names for pets because we're pretty sure our next pet is going to have a human name. It's Bob Dole. That's pretty good. Maybe we'll name our next dog Bob Dole. Again, it has nothing to do with politics. It's just hilarious to name a dog. There's a podcast that I listen to sometimes. It's an NPR podcast called Snap Judgment. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that before. If not, you should go look it up. It's awesome. It's one of my favorite podcasts. But anyway, there was one story a long time ago about a guy who like lived in the woods and he had a dog, and the dog's name, and it was a really funny story, and the guy kept telling the story and it had to do with the dog, and he would say the dog's whole name every single time, and the dog's name was Motley Crue John Bon Jovi. So he's like telling the story and the dog ran off and my friend yells, Motley Crue John Bon Jovi. So I thought it was funny. So I feel like animals need to have ridiculous names. We actually almost named Olaf Zombie. His name was almost Zombie. Because that's how we roll. Yeah, Pat, Mr. Moon does too. Well, if I say Moon, like high pitch like that, he comes to me, and then he comes if I snap my fingers. Napoleon Bonaparte, that's hilarious. So Deb, not too far off from the real guy. Sushi, how cute. I just think it's great to give animals, like, even just like silly people names. Like, not normal people names that are cute for an animal, but like, I totally want to name a dog. It might even work better for a cat to name a cat like Kevin. I think that's hilarious. Or name a dog like Philip. No, those are good. Those are good animal names. Oprah, that's great. No, I'm not actually having another cat. Mr. Moon is great, and I love him to death. And he is seriously the coolest cat I've ever even seen. Like, he's rad, but he's still a cat. And I remember now why I haven't had a cat since I was a kid. See, Carrie, that's what I'm talking about. A cat named Melvin. Perfect. Frankie and Dino, that's cute. Yes, Pat, me too. I'm a huge Monty Python fan. In fact, if you guys have ever seen my personal Facebook profile and where it says like how you pronounce your name, mine says Throat Wobbler Mangrove. That's from a Monty Python skit. Yes, naming a dog John. That's perfect. Piper? What? So the bark here is like my very favorite part of this whole painting. And I really wanted to spend like another 20 minutes just on the bark. But I figured you guys wouldn't like that. You can take it as far as you want. Oh, cute. That's really cute, Michelle. White dog. Oh, have you guys ever seen there's like a meme that goes around about somebody named their dog Dioge. It's like Deohgee, just one Dioge, but it's, you know, like the phonetic spelling of D-O-G for dog. Dioge. I think it's cute. doing bark is seriously fun, and I want to do some more of it. And that's one of the reasons I think that I really wanted to do that Old Man, that big huge tree that I called Old Man. I feel like I wanted to do that one because that offered a lot of opportunity to really dig into some bark. Fido. I love that spelling too. That's the way you got to spell Fido. It's the best spelling of it. Heck yeah, Pat. I couldn't use a long liner actually here because I didn't have it with me. I left my long liner at home. How that happened, I don't know, but I like cut out like 20 minutes of me looking through all of my stuff. I'm like, how did I not bring a long liner? And I was like, okay, I'll use my short liner. Okay, I didn't have the short liner with me either. I actually left like 3 of my necessary brushes at home somehow. So I had to improvise. I had to get creative. Oh, that's awesome, Cindy. Olaf, I mean, he knows a little bit, you know, like I can tell him where to go. Like if I point, he knows that means go over there. And then if I go like that, he sits and that and he'll stay. So I can pretty much like snap and point, do that, stay, and he won't move. So he knows a little bit, but that's really about it. That's a different spelling, Gretchen, but yeah, that one works too. Yes, Carrie, I can't wait to see that painting. I love H.P. Lovecraft. Oh, Eyes of the Dragon, Deb, is that the one you mean? That is a fabulous book. That was actually my first Stephen King book that I ever read. I think I was in 4th or 5th grade, something like that. And I went from Eyes of the Dragon straight into it. Yeah, I've read Eyes of the Dragon a couple of times. It's a fabulous book. I'm disappointed that he didn't ever do more than that. Heck yeah. But I guess Flag showed up in several of his other books, so kind of he continued it. Oh, I hope they're not making a movie of it. I really hate it when they make movies of books, because especially Stephen King books, like they just always seem to turn out like bleh. I never enjoy them. I haven't liked a movie based on a Stephen King book in a very long time. Christopher Walken would make a way creepy Flag. Absolutely. Thank you, Michelle. I was super happy with it. Eyes of the Dragon, Gretchen? No. Actually, he said he wrote it because one of his kids asked him to write a book that wasn't scary, that they could read. So he actually wrote it for one of his kids. So, I mean, it's got some intense moments, but it's more of a kind of a less scary fantasy book. It's more like a fantasy. Oh, for Peter Straub's daughter? Is that who it was, Deb? I knew that it was for a kid, but I thought it was for one of his kids. Husband's making dinner. Nope, we're having leftovers today. We made a big dinner yesterday, so don't even have to cook dinner tonight. Throw it in the microwave. Cindy, you miss out on so much. The books are always better. The Talisman, Deb, is one of my favorites. That is one of my favorites. But Peter Straub is an awesome writer too. If you've never read his book Ghost Story, you have to read Ghost Story. It is one of my very favorite books. Bye, Atra. I hope everything settles down. Yeah, Black House. I did. I read Black House. And I liked Black House, but I liked The Talisman better. Well, hello.
I'm reading Doctor Sleep.
Oh, Vince is reading Dr.
The
Sleep
sequel
right
to
now.
Shining,
Yeah.
and trying to read it, I should say.
He's trying to read it. He's not enjoying it. Should we skip a bit? Are you guys getting bored? We've been here for over an hour, huh? Boom. We skipped a bit. So the sagebrush here is really pretty similar to the way that I did the foliage in the tree. The main difference being that I'm pretty much putting full pressure on the side edge to get a little bit more of like a directional look for the bushes. I'm trying to think of the last Stephen King book I read that was new. I think it was, no, I think it was Under the Dome. And meh.
The car one,
What car one?
not Christine.
Oh, from a Buick 8. No, Under the Dome was, it came after Buick 8. So yeah, Under the Dome was the last book I read of Stephen King's. And that was, I feel like that was like 10 years ago. Maybe not quite that long ago. No, Mr. Mercedes, I haven't read that. I'm way behind, but
Those books, that old ones have never read.
yeah, not very many. I've read most of his old things. I don't know. I feel like he lost something somewhere along the way. Yeah, I didn't really care for Under the Dome. It was okay. Cindy's middle name is Mercedes. Fancy. Can we start calling you Mercedes? That's a pretty cool middle name. Yeah, Deb, I feel like you did. There were a couple of good ones after that. Like I think Black House. Yeah, Black House came out after that, but a lot of that was probably due to Peter Straub. Let's be real. But yeah, I don't know. Like Dr. Sleep sounded really interesting to me, and I was really excited to read that. And then Vince got to it first, and now he's like, meh. So now I'm like, dang it.
Granted, I haven't given it much.
Yeah.
I haven't given it a chance.
Yeah, Pat, he got hit by a car pretty badly and almost died in, what was that? 98, Vince?
Something like that.
Something like that. Was he drunk, Deb? I heard that his dog was attacking him. His dog, yeah, the guy driving the car, his dog started attacking him while he was driving.
I think his dog was just messing around and he wanted to set him down, quieten him down.
I don't know. Yeah, Mr. Moon woke up. Well, hello, Lee. I'm glad to see you. I hope everybody's doing well over there. And I hope Scout's feeling better. Oh, he did blow a DUI. All right. Yeah, Carrie was good. Carrie was great. Oh, Lee, that's too bad. Hopefully it comes out okay. So this part here where I'm adding the little bits of sticks, to the sagebrush. Was this helpful to anybody, or did you feel like it was strange? Because I just felt like everything looked so blobular and just like you couldn't tell the difference between anything. So I felt like just by adding a couple of sticks, it kind of pulled things into clumps. It said, oh, these are our individual, you know, little bushes. So I was wondering if that was helpful to anybody, and, you know, if you found a way that you can use that, not even just in this painting, but maybe it will help you with other trees or, you know, whatever. It's a technique that you could even use if you have like a forest in the distance and you just want to say, you know, here's like some foliage, but it's so distant, you don't want to really go into a bunch of detail. You can just scratch in a couple of lines, and then that kind of gives the illusion of trees. Good, good, good. Good. Because I did that kind of at the spur of the moment. I was like, I don't know. If this doesn't turn out, I'll just dot the, you know, the sage colors back over top of it. But then as I started adding it, I was like, oh, I really like that. Because another thing is you can't really tell, you know, when you put those colors on, you can see the underpainting color still, and it just kind of looks like those are sitting on the ground. But when you add the sticks, it helps pull some of them up off the ground and gives them a little bit of height too. So I was really pleased with how that worked and glad that I decided to just try it. Had not planned on that. Good, good, good. The white didn't show as much as I had hoped, but I feel like it, like I said in here, even though you can't really like see it specifically, like it doesn't draw your attention and you think, oh, there's a dark stick and there's a light stick. I think that it did kind of help break it up just a little bit visually. Oh, Lee, I'm so excited to see that. Yes, Michelle. Good. Yeah, you really can just suggest details, you know, just like in here, because that's what I'm doing right now. By just saying, here's a line, and that's it. That really suggests, oh, that's a bush, and it's got a trunk and little sticks that come through it. And your brain really does fill in the blanks. There's no reason that you have to be like, well, it's sage, so we have to make the leaves like sage leaves, and we have to put all of the little sticks and all the little clumps. Kind of putting it low on the ground, making a specific color, and kind of sketching in a suggestion of sticks really does say, oh, it's a sage bush, even though it really doesn't have any detail to it. I live in your head, Deb. It's a scary place. Oh, Deb, I've been there, friend. I've been there. There's actually a YouTube artist that I watch occasionally. I can't remember his name. If I can think of it or if I find it, I'll share it with you guys. But he always he's like, I'll try and describe him so that you can, maybe you've seen him before. He's maybe in his 40s, maybe. Good looking guy. I think he's got kind of grayish hair. He's got an accent, I think. I can't remember if he's British or Australian something. Maybe he's British. But he always paints from a photo, like a landscape. And his paintings are like photorealistic. Sometimes you look at it and you're like, that's photo. Oh wait, no, that's painting. And he does. He gets in there with a tiny liner and he's like, leaf, 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 leaf. And he does this photorealistic landscape so quickly and so effortlessly. It really kind of, I just don't understand. Oh, hello, Marlene. Did I say that wrong? I probably said that wrong, didn't I? JAMSS stands for Jane's Art Monster Support Squad. That's you guys. No, it's not Clive. No, it's not Chuck Black. He's a younger guy. He's pretty cute. He's pretty good looking. He's slim. Pretty sure his hair's a little gray. I think he's got like bright blue eyes. He's a good looking dude. I can't remember his name, but he doesn't do like full tutorials. He'll like come in and he's in the middle of a painting and he's like, so watch, we're gonna do leaves over here. And you're just like, you just painted every single leaf on that tree and it's incredible and I want to be you. Of course he hears it. He's sitting right there. He's not threatened. Are you? Are you threatened?
Hmm?
He's not even listening.
I am listening.
Oh, are you? Are you threatened?
No, I'm a real man.
He's not threatened. And I think I'm actually done here. Yeah, I'm still doing the same thing. We can call that. You've seen that before. It's just the same thing I've been doing for the last 10 minutes. And awesome. Where in Utah were you? Oh, you were in southern Utah, weren't you? Yeah, I've been to like St. George, but I've never been to like Zion's or I've never been to any of those places. Because that's what happens when the place you live, you don't go. And that's too bad. But then I look at it and I'm like, it looks hot there. I don't want to go. It looks really hot. I'm sure they have times of the year where it's not really hot. Oh, awesomely. Thank you. And thanks for reminding me. I don't get to check my mailbox as often as I should. So I should go check that again. And I'll let you know when I get it. I'm excited to see what it is. Thank you. So that is it for our painting. Oh, yeah, I can remind you guys one more time of next week for those of you who weren't here earlier. So next week we are having a video on Tuesday. However, it's not going to be a painting. It's going to be just kind of a back to basics refresher course because I get asked a lot of questions about how do I get my paint to flow smoothly? I use way too much paint. Lots of like technical questions that are really hard to answer without seeing a painting. So I kind of took what I know of like issues that people have and I like recreated them here so that, if you see something that looks similar to the issue that you have, then, I kind of tell you, well, here's how this happens and here's how this happens. And then at the end, I show you how to properly load a brush so that you can cover a section evenly and quickly. And I actually covered this section in just 2 brush loads, but really I covered about 3/4 of it on 1 brush load. So I kind of show you how to do that. So like I said, it's not a painting, but hopefully you will get something out of it. And then at the very end, I show you how to properly clean your brushes after each use. So that is no more clogged ferrule. Well, I don't know if I can say no more. I still do it, and I will still do it always. Ooh, that sounds awful, Pat. Watch out for spiders, man. Yeah. So, yeah. I will get into Patreon and check out everybody's posts, and hopefully I'm going to try and remember to do it tonight, post the thing about the community tab again for people who might still be having issues and people who are new to the Patreon group. So, bye, Carrie. So, all right, I'm going to let you guys go. Guess I'm going to go heat up some dinner. Get busy on social media, and I will see you guys in a couple of days. So have a happy Memorial Day to my U.S. friends, and to everybody else. Have a... Oh, when is Vince putting more paintings up for sale? When we know how long we're going to be home. Right now, we don't know. We could be leaving in the next couple of days or whatever. So, yeah. Soon. All right, everybody. I will see you soon. Bye.